McPherson Strut suspension. Like, it was great, and it is better. It's more efficient, less moving parts or whatnot, but it's basically saving engineering and money to have the shock going right down the middle of the coil spring.
So why do some cars have both, or vehicles?
Well, set in the back, especially on the cheap little cars, that to have shocks in the back with a solid axle, that's less engineering and less money. Not a very good ride.
Okay.
But, you know, it started off with shocks. First cars didn't have any shocks. So we're going way back. How far do you want to go?
As far as you want to go.
At one time, they had springs. Like you see, even wagons, like you see an old Western or something.
Oh.
They just had these two springs on top of each other, and that was the suspension.
That was to help with the ride, the smoothness.
It is the suspension. Is to help the cargo and the passengers, but also to help to keep from rattling the whole thing apart. Because if you just put a solid axle and just, you know, a frame on top of that solid axle, and every little bump you hit is jarring everything, it'll rattle the whole thing apart. So they had suspension, and then somewhere along the way they came up with the shock absorber. I don't know, we're gonna have to go with Google with that.
Right.
But somewhere along the way they came up with a shock absorber to put outside of the spring to stop, to absorb the rapid movement of a big bump. So it's just a gas-filled tube that keeps you from collapsing it quickly. So it absorbs the shock. That's why it's called shock absorber. So they came and put that on around the outside, and then some guy, probably named McPherson, I don't know. I would suspect strongly that his name was McPherson, but he came up with this idea that you have a coil spring, and in the middle of it you have a shock, and it's all one unit, kind of tied together. So that way you got a spring over here and a shock over here. You got everything all in one piece. And it was, to me, it seems like it's just a cost-saving movement. Our engineering marvel is just like a cost savings efficiency of putting everything all together. But it was also described as, you know, a really cool thing. But I shouldn't be surprised. But, you know, you heard, like, I don't know, in the 80s maybe, they would say that like it's a thing, like it's a big feature. And it's got McPherson Strut suspension. And you're supposed to go, that's something new, that's exciting. But it doesn't necessarily be better.
Right.
But then I'm just thinking, so the GM world, I'm very steeped in the history of GM and stuff like that. They would put like throttle body injection. They would put that on the truck like it was a thing. It's more efficient than a carburetor, but it's not all that damn exciting. It's just an injector instead of the carburetors, which are Venturis and jets and floats and horse shit that they used to use. They got rid of all that and just have one injector, and it still looks like a carburetor, but there's an injector up there spitting gas, metered by the computer. But it's really not that exciting. It was not that new. Even my Suburban, my 93 Suburban's got, it either says fuel injection or throttle body injection on the back. But in the Chevy world, even, in 1955, they had a fuel injected engine.
Really?
It was mechanically run. But yeah, they just timed it up and used fuel injectors. Instead of carburetor, just basically like a toilet bowl that fills up with gas, and they use it as they need it. And anyway, that's all another story. But lots of moving parts, not very efficient. So for 1993 to have fuel injection was not that exciting, but they still put it on the car like it was a big thing. Fuel injection. And you know, the salesman walking around, you got McPherson Struts. And fuel injection on this car. I mean, this thing's a technological marvel.
So the difference in, I guess, McPherson Struts and shocks or whatever, is there something, I guess, better about air shocks, or are they all the same?
The air shocks just get into varying the ride height and the stiffness compared to load. ways to do that. The ones we just put, they were $800 a piece on this Tahoe that we finished up today. They're electrically controlled. So
The air shocks.
It's not even air, but it's just electrically. It controls the orifices, so it controls how fast or slow the shock absorption happens. It's got little controlled orifices in there. Like a lot of people can't control their orifices, so but Chevy figured out a way with computers, because engineers, they're smart. They figured out a way with computers to control their orifice. But it don't matter. Your orifices will still betray you from time to time, no matter what kind of control you got on it. But it's just, I don't know why you're laughing. It's just, they come up with new and exciting ways to control that orifice. And it just doesn't shoot out some nonsense at the wrong time.
Randomly, yeah.
Yeah. They gotta keep that tamped down. So anyway, it gives you a better ride because it's sensing things and figuring things out. Figuring out the ride height kind of assumes the load of the vehicle, how loaded down it is, or how light it is, and can change the absorption commensurate to the amount of things you've crammed in your car.
But
And that's about all I got to say. JD, Watauga.